Today I'm going to show you how to hook up a gooseneck trailer to your pickup truck. First off, you need to put your tailgate down so you can back up and make clearance with the gooseneck. And once your tailgate's down, you need to make sure your ball's turned over. If you have a turnover ball like me, which I think most people do, in order to do that, you need to pull a lever from the side. Generally, the turnover balls will have a hitch like this. You pull the lever out and you turn it to lock it outward. Then you're free to take your ball out, flip it over, put it back in. Now you got to lock that pin back across. To lock it back in, you pull it out, let go, and now it's locked in. It's also a good idea if it's your first time with using your particular truck to maybe measure it to make sure that the tailgate's low enough. This one's at about 36 inches or so. You know, the ball sticks up a couple of 4 inches, so we're gonna have to raise the trailer to probably about 41 or so to clear it all. So in order to raise the trailer up, generally they'll have a jack system like this, or if you're lucky, you can get one with like a hydraulic button or lever, and then you don't have to crank it up like this. Alright, now that you know the actual gooseneck is tall enough to make clearance for the truck and ball, now it's time to back up your truck to where the ball's right underneath this point. Now that you back it up to at least at an approximate location, you can lower the trailer a little bit so you know exactly what kind of fine tuning needs to be done in order to be directly over the ball. Now it's a bit lower. We see that I need to go forward a bit and slightly to the left. So we'll do that. Okay, I've got it backed up to the position I want to be in, so now the jack can be lowered all the way. Alright, now that the gooseneck has settled all the way down onto the ball, we continue to spin the jack up. It's going to be a lot easier at this point because it no longer has any tongue weight on it. And we want to get the jacks up as far as they go until they come to a stop. Okay, then you can hang up your handle. It's out of the way. Now you want to get the quick release part down, up. So put your foot on the bottom to prevent finger pinchings. Pull the pin, lock it out in place, then release your foot. And that'll snap them up safely so you don't have to break your finger trying to do that. And then of course repeat to the other side. Now the trailer's jacks are up. You can come up here. What you want to do is you want to lock the trailer onto the ball. In order to do that, you take this pin, which you can see is not there, you move it away from this groove, and that goes down into that latch, locking the ball into place. And you can fold it backwards out here. Kind of helps ensure that it won't come up when pulling. The next thing you want to do is install your safety chains. These are in case if for some reason there's a failure at the main point there, that these chains will hopefully keep the trailer from rolling away on you too much, keeping it confined within the truck for safety reasons. So you want to hook those to the chain safety hooks, hooking points. And then repeat on the other side. Next step, you want to have your quick release brake cable, which is here. It's a wire connected to the brake system. This you hook up in order for another safety backup for if your trailer breaks. This will lock the brakes up on the trailer, so once again it's not free rolling down the highway, potentially gonna kill somebody, so it's for safety. Generally you want to install some kind of clip or something in your truck bed to do it. For us, we just put together this steel wire loop that hangs out, so I can hook it to that. And you want to make sure it's loose enough so when you turn at a sharp angle, it doesn't pull it out and set the brakes on you. You want it loose enough to where it's not going to be pulled unless there's actually a failure on the trailer. Next step is plugging in the trailer lights and brakes into your truck. Generally they'll have a plug like this, and hopefully you have a plug installed in the bed of your truck to plug it into. Now sometimes that's not always the case. In that case, hopefully you got one in the back of your truck, and then you can buy an extension cord basically for them to have it go over or under the tailgate and plug it into the back of your truck. So it's pretty simple here. You take the plug, you get the groove lined up, open the lighting housing, and then you plug it in and make sure it's nice and secure in there. And that should be all that you need to do within the bed of the truck. And now all that's left to do is check everything to make sure it's all hooked up correctly. So on your way out, double check all the stuff you hooked up to make sure it's nice and safe. All the connections. You can now shut your tailgate and begin checking all the lighting system. So now your trailer's hooked up, you want to test that the lights are plugged in correctly. So first we got brake tests, testing the brakes, and we'll try the make sure they work. Then we try left blinker, right blinker, and the hazard lights, just to make sure the lights work. Now when you turn on the lights of the truck, make sure all the lights come on the trailer, like so. And then if you have multiple lights in your trailer, such as on the side, you want to make sure all those lights are on as well. Okay, once you have the trailer hooked up and have done light checks, next thing that's a good thing to do is do a brake check if your trailer is equipped with brakes. Now, my truck happens to have an integrated brake controller right here in the dash. Otherwise, if you have brakes on your trailer, you should have an external one that you can buy and hook up. Now, as you can see, that 7.5 is the power of the brakes that is currently set. You can lower that down or you can raise that up. And what you want to do in order to ensure that these are working correctly is you want to put the truck into drive, and then you want to start going forward at about 1-2 miles an hour. Just start moving. As you can see, my foot's on the brake here, and that the harder I push, the more brakes that's applied to the trailer in the back. Now when I release the brakes on the truck, the brakes go away on that, on the trailer. So if I release them and start moving at about 2 miles an hour, I want to activate only the trailer brakes to actually see if I can feel if they're activated and not just trust the light on the dash. To activate them, you squeeze these two levers together, and that'll activate the trailer brakes only. So I'm gonna release the brake on the truck completely, start rolling forward, and see if I can feel the trailer brakes come on. Yep. Pulled my truck to a stop, which is good. So now you know that not only are your lights hooked up correctly, but also your brakes are working as well. Now you want to make sure, if you're hauling an empty trailer, that there is no loose items on the trailer. Anything that is on the trailer needs to be securely fastened down, again for safety reasons, otherwise you could have a pretty disastrous day ahead of you if you don't secure your load down onto your trailer. It also probably doesn't hurt to go around and check the tire pressures on your trailer. It's again just another safety issue. You don't want to be caught with dead flat on the side of the road or something like that. Just check the tires and make sure you inflate them to the rated PSI. And that is how you successfully hook up a gooseneck trailer to your truck, and you're ready to use to haul large items.